Welcome back to the Connect Show, Texas. So, what a good show we have for you today. Every guest, I'm just so in love with these women. And our next guest is actually a licensed psychologist and businesswoman. Please help me welcome the lovely Dr. Lashonda Green.
Hello, thank you for lovely.
Yes, lovely.
We're so thrilled to have you with us today and talk about some really important things, that we as women deal with, or, because we are, a lot of our audience are women. And, being a woman, we deal with a lot, and mental health sometimes gets lost in all the gazillion things that we do, throughout our day, throughout our lives. How do you allow women to embrace this as an everyday topic?
Well, that's a pretty broad question, but I will say that I will start by affirming what you said, in that, as women, we face and deal with exceptionally high and oftentimes very unrealistic standards about how to show up in a motherhood space, how to show up in a wife space, how to show up in a coworker space. Everybody presents themselves in our interactions with their own version of how we are to meet their needs. And oftentimes we subconsciously take on those expectations and wed them to our own. And over time, other people's needs become primary and our own personal needs become tertiary or somewhere further down the line. And so, how I begin the discussion, which does seem rather easy when we talk about it, but it's very difficult just in broaching the subject, learning how to say no. Uh, Learning how to set healthy boundaries. I find that women that I treat are uncomfortable with saying no. And no is not usually a firm no, it's a no but, or it's a no that can be negotiated. So dealing with the kind of uncomfortable feelings that come with setting firm boundaries. In certain circumstances, yes, your boundaries need to be flexible. But when it comes to those important primary needs, it is important to set boundaries because it has a twofold purpose. It teaches other people how to treat you. It teaches other people that you value you. And because you value you, therefore they should value you also. And it also teaches you that you're worth the value setting. So it has a multifold process.
Wow, so good. You have to teach people how to treat you. I always say that.
You absolutely do.
Are there specific tricks or tips that you can give us to do, in our everyday lives that will help us with this, setting boundaries and having a peace of mind, like when we're in traffic or when we're in the carpool line? What are some tips that you can give us?
Well, here's the thing. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, ladies, but I do have to tell you that there are no tricks or tips to this evolution process. Okay. This is a journey. This is a constant evolving. There is no, well, I do this and I get here, then I'm going to hop off this train. It's a constant evolution. It's a constant self-evaluation. It's a constant self-reflection. It's a constant, I don't want to say always or never, right? Because that's extreme language, but it's more consistent than not. You're always in the process of evolving and growing, and there really is no beginning or end to it. You're just in it. And the skill set that you need to really incorporate or acquire while you're in the process is one of psychological flexibility. We all have the tendency to lean toward very rigid thinking. We have these mantras that we've acquired or we've created for ourselves, and we want to dig in and we anchor ourselves to what has worked, right? And so it's smart. If it has worked for you before, let's keep doing it. But the problem arises is when you encounter a set of circumstances in your life in which previous skill sets that you've earned, it doesn't work for this set. And people can't make that adjustment. They can't make that psychological switch and say, hey, I need a different set of skills for this different set of circumstances that I may not have ever tried, but may prove to be successful.
It's been so wonderful. Thank you for your amazing advice and the tips that you've shared and all that you've shared today. Could you tell our audience how they can connect with you or how they can book your services?
Sure. Well, I am at Dr. Lashonda. So I'll spell that at DRLASHONDA on Instagram. And my website, I'm on the World Wide Web at www.drlashonda.com. That's me.
Yes, you are so beautiful and smart. Beautiful, smart. You talk about brains and beauty. That's what we're all about. You got both.
And I'm working on this body, and I'm about to be the triple threat.
Girl, I'm trying to come there. It's the hot girl summer, so yes. Hot girl summer. But I'm impressed with you, Dr. Lashonda. I just want to say, you're impressive. You're smart. I love just what you brought to the table. We haven't had a lot of time with you. I got to visit with you by phone, but girl, you've got that magic. So
thank you.
Very
impressive.
Gospel magic. We are so grateful for you, Dr. Lashonda.
Thank you for having me. I
I
appreciate it. Yes. Thank you. I so appreciate it.
Sit tight because we will be right back.